The smartphone revolution has been under full swing in the last couple of days. Flexible smartphones were once just a concept, but both Samsung and Huawei at their recent announcements have made them a reality, and they come complete with 5G capabilities for future telecommunication. With Samsung, we get the Galaxy Fold. From the looks of it, it's a robust feeling smartphone but pretty chunky in the hand. Samsung's gone for the route of having two displays, a primary 4.6-inch HD+ display with a 21:9 aspect ratio, while a larger 7.3-inch dynamic AMOLED panel at the QXGA+ resolution when the device opens up. The phone also sports 6 cameras with a trio of a 16-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, accompanied by a wide and telephoto 12-megapixel lens. There's also the additional 10-megapixel and 8-megapixel cameras placed on the inside of the Fold, in the notch, and lastly a 10-megapixel selfie camera to use on the cover of the display. Moving to Huawei's implementation, it is the Mate X. Here the phone uses just one primary screen that folds from phone mode to tablet mode with a larger grip off to the right, and arguably a more fragile design. When folded, you actually get two usable displays, a 6.6-inch 19.5:9 AMOLED panel on the front, whereas a 6.4-inch 25:9 panel on the back. And when unfolded, a large 8-inch display up front, which looks incredible but doesn't quite have the sharpness of the regular screens we see today, but remains notch-free unlike Samsung's implementation. Instead of 6 cameras like the Galaxy Fold, the Mate X sports what looks to be 3 cameras in the 40-megapixel wide, 16-megapixel ultra-wide and 8-megapixel telephoto lens, borrowed from Huawei's flagship Mate 20 series, which also double as the selfie camera when the phone is folded. Of the two phones, Samsung's looks to be the more solid one. It's thicker and rather unconventional in a way if you look at the huge bezel around the primary display, but because of this construction style, the larger display remains protected at all times. In the case of Huawei's Mate X, the phone is way more similar to the concepts we've seen in the past, but we're not sure how usage will impact the screen's durability without your traditional Gorilla Glass protection. Regardless, to make this sort of technology happen, both companies have followed similar paths. Samsung has spent a long time perfecting its interlocking hinge technology, whereas Huawei's gone for its patented Falcon Wing hinge. Both have also opted for 2 batteries on each of their devices to accommodate the Fold. While Samsung's Fold comes with a 4380 mAh capacity, the Huawei Mate X sports a 4500 mAh capacity battery. Huawei goes the extra way with a 55-watt supercharging technology, allowing you to get 85% charge on the Mate X in just 30 minutes, whereas with Samsung's phone, you get the 18-watt fast charging support. The Galaxy Fold also supports wireless charging, whereas we're not quite sure if the Mate X does the same. The overall idea with these devices is to make multitasking and usage more convenient. With software catered to a more fluid experience built on top of Android 9.0 Pie, both devices sport the latest end processing power. Huawei's Kirin 980 octa-core processor, 8GB of RAM and 512GB of storage on the Mate X, whereas the latest end 7nm octa-core processor with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage on the Galaxy Fold. Of the two, Huawei offers additional features like the hybrid dual SIM support as well as nano SD card storage expansion. But as these phones represent the next generation in computing, both will come at significantly higher prices than we're used to. The Galaxy Fold will retail for $1,980, which converts to about 7,300 dirhams, while Huawei's Mate X will go for 2,299 euros, which converts to a whopping 9,600 dirhams. Samsung's Galaxy Fold will be available starting April 26, a bit earlier than Huawei's Mate X, which is set to launch in mid-2019. If you look at the overall package, the Mate X definitely edges the Galaxy Fold. Its display is what we traditionally accustomed to a foldable one, and it has certain additions that make it stand out. But at the same time, you cannot knock down the Galaxy Fold, which offers much of the same experience at a significantly lower price tag and arguably a launch date before the Mate X. We'll have to reserve our full judgment until we see the devices in person, but this situation is reminiscent of Apple's first smartphone announcement. Everyone was itching to get their hands on the new Apple phone when it first came out, and the same is the case for these flexible phones from Huawei and Samsung. Let us know what you think about them down in the comments below, and tell us if you're interested in buying a variant at these prices. We'll have more coverage on the phones soon, but for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.